Hey guys, do you want to discover the full potential of next generation consoles and some of your favorite games? Well, today we are going to take a look at some of the best settings for your Xbox Series X or S and Destiny 2. So let's go. My name is Weds, and as always, thanks for tuning in to the channel. If you are lucky enough to get your hands on one of the new gen consoles, you already know the benefits of playing your favorite games on one of them. But to fully take advantage of their power, you have to have the right settings in conjunction with the right hardware, i.e. your screen display with the right connections and cables. For the Xbox Series X or S, you need a display, whether it's a TV or monitor, that is capable of 4K resolution. You also need games that support that resolution. And on top of that, you need to have the right cables to support those specifications. So my advice, when you're looking for a TV or monitor for your next gen console, make sure they support 4K, and also 120Hz would be nice. Additionally, you need to make sure that your TV or monitor display has at least one HDMI port that supports HDMI 2.1. Yes, not all HDMIs are created equal, but you are in luck because the Xbox Series X already comes with an HDMI 2.1 cable. Make sure you use that cable for your setup. However though, if you're going to connect other hardware in between your Xbox and your display, i.e. a game capture for instance, you are going to need the extra cable. So make sure you have the right cable, otherwise you might not be able to take full advantage of those next gen consoles. Anyway, now that we got all this out of the way and you are good to go, let's go in the settings of the Xbox Series X and Destiny 2. Alright, first thing, make sure you press the Xbox logo button and look for the settings. But if you don't have the settings on your shortcut menu, just tab over to your profile picture, and there you can find the settings, and just hit settings, and then on the general tab just go to TV and display options, and then there you can find your options for resolution: 4K UHD, Ultra HD, and you can get 1440p, 1080p, 720p, but we're gonna go with 4K UHD. And then for the refresh rate, which is also what they call the FPS, then you can just hit the 120 or 60 Hz. So make sure that your TV supports those settings, and then you'll be good to go. But for Destiny 2, we're gonna go at 60 Hz because they only allow you to do 60 frames per second on console. So, and then on the setup menu, if you want to check out your TV details, just go click on 4K details, and it tells you exactly what your TV support. Now that is not 100% correct because it all depends on what kind of connection you have between your TV and your game system. Like for instance, right here on mine it says your TV supports 4K UHD at 60 Hz, but I know my TV support 120 Hz. Now the reason why it's only saying that it's only supports 60 Hz is because I have a capture card in between my Xbox and my TV that only supports 4K 60. That's the Elgato 4K 60. So that's why it's only saying that. But if I didn't have that, it would be like 120 frame per second. So that out of the way, you can look at some of the other menus and some of the other things that your TV supports, and then just that way you know exactly. But if it says something here that you don't believe, just make sure you have the right connection on your TV and your Xbox, then you should be good to go. So let's go back, and then another thing you can do, you can calibrate your TV, calibrate your HDR, and then let's check out the video modes. Now on the video modes, just make sure you says allow 50 Hz, also allow 24 Hz, and then if you have the option to do allow low latency mode, just do those, but don't check the allow YCC 422. That's another option unless you need to, but just leave this blank. And also make sure it says allow 4K TV and also allow HDR10 and auto HDR. Just make sure those are checked and you should be good to go. But if you have a TV that supports Dolby Vision, just make sure you check that too, and then you should be good to go. Those are the basics. And if you want to look at the video fidelity, and make sure you put auto detect on that, and then for the video fidelity color depth, leave it on the first option because it depends on the TV that you have. It'll detect the best settings automatically. So just leave it on the first option. And color spacious, leave it as standard, and then you should be good to go. Now there are a lot of other settings, but today we're only gonna focus on the TV and the game. Alright, now that you set up your TV and your Xbox Series X, it's time to set up Destiny. Now when you click on your character screen, just tab over to the settings, and there you will look for the video. And on the video you can see the 120 Hz mode. That's for the Crucible only, so this is already should be enabled on your Xbox setups and your TV as well. And then you also want to make sure the field of view, just set that up to whatever you want, but I put mine on max, and you can see the difference whenever you're playing. You can see more detail, you can see more things. So that's one of the big difference beside the Crucible at 120 Hz. And for me, I have mine set up at 4K 60 FPS or 60 Hz. That is good for me because I can see a lot of difference. And when you throw your grenade, when you're aiming ADS, you can see a lot of difference. So it's gonna take a little bit of use to if you do it for the first time, because you can notice that your grenade is being thrown a lot further, and things are a lot faster. You're moving a lot faster, so it is for the best. So you will see those difference, and that's the gist of it. Alright guys, I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please leave a like, comment, or subscribe. I will be most appreciative. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.